So let's dive into the details here. Here's the latest from the Hurricane Center. If you're just sort of waking up wanting to know if there has been changes overnight. Not really. They're going to keep a 10% chance on this. I mean, you have to. There's a
Yeah.
dying front sitting off the southeast coastline, a classic way of getting a tropical system to form in the month of June, warm water temperatures. You have to at least paste a chance here.
Yeah.
But when you look at the reality, Craig, so close to land, limited time, wind shear, dry air. I mean, I think you're kind of throwing darts at the dartboard. You're going to get really lucky to see something completely pulled together in the time frame that is around.
It's so true. And what does want to develop potentially is very close to land. So does it sit over land and even limit some of that? I think what we really want to focus in on as well is the impacts. Britta, we talk about this year after year, especially last year.
Way more important than any name, any classification. What
Right.
do I actually have to live with?
Exactly, because it doesn't matter if it gets a name, whatever happens.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to me where I live? Guess what? Rain, a lot of it. And I think especially for the coastal communities, really from the Outer Banks to the Florida-Georgia line, it's places like Savannah, if you're visiting, if you live here, you're going to plan on potential flooding and some heavy rain. So I think this is one reason, especially, that you really need to pay attention to what's going on out here.
Now, are there still chances? Sure. You can tell that we've had a big decrease in the chance category. Low chances for a tropical depression, again, all because of these pieces of evidence that we've brought to your attention: the dry air, the wind shear, the proximity to land, the lack of time. But again, you don't need a tropical system to have impacts, and the heavy rain will bring in a flood impact. So let's go ahead and take a look. Water vapor, that kind of shows us where the rich, deep moisture is. It also shows the complicated setup here.
Huge dry pocket of dry air right
Yeah.
behind that. Like if this was all filled in and you had those bright blues and purples, you're talking about moisture all around the area, but not the case. A lot of dry air on the back side of that. Nonetheless, where we do have the moisture, it is going to bring some heavy rain. Again, to Florida, Britta, we just cannot get a break for central southern Florida. The entire state will be dealing with showers and rain today, thunderstorms as well.
Yeah, we'll have to watch out for the pocket of storms, south of the Florida Keys. That's going to be pushing up into South Florida this morning. That could pose a flooding risk for Miami. And it's street flooding that we're most concerned about. Again, right now, the heaviest rain remains offshore, but it will be drifting up to the north as we work our way through the first half of the day. So flood alerts are up. We have a watch between Fort Lauderdale, Miami, getting into the beginning of the Florida Keys. Here's a look at the timeline. We have the morning action, followed by more downpours in the afternoon. You can tell that the east coast of Florida is going to be heavily impacted. That dry air that we saw in water vapor, probably a buffer for the Gulf Coast today of Florida. But then once we get past today, the focus is quickly going to shift to the Carolinas. We're going to see a lot more moisture from Savannah up towards Wilmington. And the smallest time frame, you know, that low 10% chance
is right there.
Right here as we go into Thursday.
Yeah. And look how close it is to the coast again. Another reason. So no matter what, but leading up to that, you saw the amount of rain that was coming down over the Carolinas, especially the lower areas right through Thursday and into Friday. These are just estimates, 2 to 3 closer to the coast, but I think some spots are going to do way better than easily. I think so. Probably even a little more widespread than that by the time we get into Friday and into Saturday. So the flash flood threat is already there. Right now it's a level 1 out of 4, but watch this closely. That may go up. Lots of moisture to work with, and the system, as it slowly spins, it does move to the northeast. We've got some upper level mechanisms that will help to kick it out of here, which is some good news. However, it does come with a whole lot in the way of rain.
And again, this is why the Hurricane Center is watching it. You know, typically when we see systems brew in June, they're what we call backdoor threats. They happen in our backyard, the Gulf off the southeast coastline, sometimes the Northwest Caribbean. And they likely are due to a dying front, which is the setup that we're tracking today off the southeast coastline, but also something called the Central American Gyre. It's a broad circulation that sets up across Central America. Sometimes you can brew an area of low pressure. That's something that we'll talk about later on this morning, because it's something that could come into play the middle part of June. Again, would not be a shocker. It's kind of what we look for this time of year, but we'll get to that part of the story. For right now, it's the rain potential. We're going to have a ton of rain Wednesday and Thursday across the southeast coastline, with a lot of the focus being between Florida, Georgia, and coastal areas of the Carolinas. So be ready for localized flooding, especially the coastal Carolina region on Thursday. A lot of the moisture is going to fall in a 24, 36-hour window, so it's kind of short, and that can lead to some problems popping up.